All right, so let's use these negative powers in some examples. In this example, we have a fraction, but it has some negative exponents. Let's just work through it. In the top, we have a -4. That's not a negative exponent. That's just a negative number. But then my x to the -2 means it's in the wrong place. The negative power has to go to the bottom. So these x's are in the wrong place. Now think about it. If I already have one x down here, and I bring these two down here, how many am I going to end up with on the bottom? I should have 3 down there. The -4 is still up there. And then let's look at our y's. I have these down here that are in the wrong place. They're going to have to go up top to join this one that's already sitting here. So if I bring up 2 more, I'm going to have 3 of those y's sitting up there. There's my answer. This is kind of more of a common sense approach rather than trying to work through rules and knowing whether you're supposed to add, subtract, multiply, what am I doing. We still have to do a little bit of that, but maybe if you just think through what's going on with the variables, that will help. In this case, I've got a fraction, and the whole thing is being taken to the -2 power. So I'll have a 3 to the -2, x to the -2, and my y, remember, power to a power, you do have to do the rule there, -10. Now this negative power, do not confuse that with a negative value. That's not going to make this a negative number. It means that it's in the wrong place. It has to go to the denominator. So my 3 squared is going down. My x is also to a negative power, so it has to go down. And my y that's already down there is also in the wrong place because of the negative power, and it has to go up. Anytime you have the negative power, you move it and then get rid of the negative on it. And then just simplify up the numerical part of this. It's going to be a 9x squared. You got it. Let's try another one. This one we have a fraction. Got to take the -2 and distribute it through. So I'm going to have a 6 to the -2 and m to the -6. Power to a power, you're going to multiply n to the 2nd. Same thing on the bottom. Take this -3 and put it on everything that's inside there. 4 to the -3rd. M to the, a -1 times a -3 is a +3. N to the -3rd. All right, I'm going to take my 6 to the -2 and bump it to the denominator. My 4 to the -3rd, take it to the numerator. That's what I'm going to have to do with my numbers. They both have negative powers, not negative values. Then let's work on our m's. I have these on the top, but they are in the wrong place. They need to move to the denominator. I already have 3 m's sitting down there, so if I bring 6 more down with it, I'm going to have 9 of them down there. On my n's, the ones in the bottom are in the wrong place, so they have to come up top. So then I'll have 5 n's up there. And then let's work on cleaning up the numerical part. We have a 64 n to the 5th over 6 squared m to the 9. And, oops, I'm sorry, 6 squared would be 36, which then I could actually simplify because 4 goes into 64 and into 36. So I would have an 16 n to the 5th over a 9 n to the 9th. Okay. One more problem. This one's not a fraction, but because of the negative powers, it's going to turn into one. So when I look at this, I have the -4, but the -2 power only goes on what's in the parentheses. So I'm going to leave that -4 hanging out there and ignore that for right now. And then I've got my 3 to the -2nd, my a to the, ends up being a +4th when I multiply those powers, and a b to the -10th. Anything with a negative power needs to go to the denominator, so I'm going to have a -4 that's going to stay where it's at. That's not a negative power. But this 3 to the -2nd has to go to the denominator. I'm going to go ahead and call it a 9 because it's going to be a 3 squared down there. My a to the 4th is fine on top because it has a positive power. And my b to the -10th, oh, negative power, has to go down. And you're done. Good luck.